Good morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino, and we're back with episode 10, episode X. We've made it to the decade mark, everybody. Very exciting. If you're listening back home on Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a 5-star review. Yeah. And if you're on YouTube watching me, and you should be watching me because I look incredible again today. I do kind of look like a 70s porn director, but, you know, a sight to be seen nonetheless. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit like, smash that subscribe button, and leave me a nice little sexy comment. You know, that kind of stuff helps me as we embark on our journey to becoming the #1 podcast in the world. It's been an eventful week. Where do we begin? Let's see. This is fun. A couple days ago, I'm driving home from a dinner, probably 10 o'clock at night, and I get a text message from Chase Fraud asking, did you just spend $43 on this Uber? I didn't because I'm driving, and my Chase card is not linked to my Uber. My Amex is linked to my Uber. So I say no, and then I call Chase, and I get on the phone with this gentleman, and I tell him, hey, that wasn't me that did that Uber. I think somebody may have my debit card somehow. Can we take care of that? He goes, oh, okay, that's interesting. Did you take the Uber a few hours ago for $70? I'm like, no, didn't take that one either. He goes, oh, how about the Uber for $125 this morning? I said, hey, man, first of all, I rarely Uber. Second of all, my Chase card isn't linked to my Uber, so I shouldn't have any Uber charges on my Chase account. And he said, you might want to pull up your transaction history. And I said, why is that? And he said, you've had over $3,800 in Uber charges this month. Now, that's not a little bit of money. My question to Chase was, hey guys, if I'm getting upwards of $350 a day in Uber charges, this is the first fucking notification that you've given me that there might be fraud going on in my account? So I sit on the phone with this guy for like an hour, going over every charge. Thankfully, it was just Uber. And my thought is somebody phished my debit card info, and maybe they use Uber, like only in Uber because it doesn't notify you clearly on Chase. You know, had they like gone shopping at Best Buy or Target, maybe I would have got notified earlier and shut it down. But nonetheless, insane. So I get my debit card canceled, and I go, so what happens now? Like, is there a way to trace back and they're like, no, nothing happens. We're just going to reimburse you for all these charges. And then I was like, well, can I contact Uber and maybe have the account banned? Maybe. And he's like, yeah, you could try that. And then I just started thinking like, no harm, no foul. Hats off to this guy or girl. I mean, they scammed my debit card info, rode around like the fucking president for a month. I mean, they were just taking black cars to 7-Eleven and back. You know what I'm saying? They were having all the bitches in the Uber, just the party Uber bus, you know, every night on my dime. But then I got reimbursed anyway. So technically, Chase is paying for it. I don't give a fuck about Chase. So then I thought, I'm not going to contact Uber because also, fuck Uber. Right? So really, this guy won. He's the winner of the week. I mean, he did it. And you know what else? I'm probably one of like 6 other debit cards that this guy's got. Had I not checked my statements, though, because I don't really comb through my fucking bank statements, which says a lot about me as a responsible spender. This guy, who knows how long this could have gone on? I mean, this guy could have fucking drained my account to nothing. Anyway, so that happened. We're all good, though. We're all squared away. If you're watching, hats off. But don't do it again. Thanks. So what else happened this week? Justin Tranter announced that he is going to be giving royalty points, master recording points, to songwriters on any release through his label, Facet Records. This is incredible. If you heard our last podcast last week with Tiffany Red, we talked a lot about songwriter rights, specifically, recording points and how difficult it is as a songwriter because you don't get points on the master of records, which is where the majority of money comes in. So this was an incredible advancement for the cause, for songwriters. And shout out to a prominent songwriter putting his fucking money where his mouth is. Justin Tranter has been one of the biggest writers in the music industry for over a decade and has been one of the few in that echelon that have spoken out and used their voice. And he's got his own label, and guess what? He put his fucking money where his mouth is. Any writer that works on any record for Facet Records, there's 3 points allocated for songwriters. And that does not come out of the artist side. It doesn't come out of the producer side. It comes out of the label side. Because labels have the money. They have the points to set aside points for writers. And so hopefully this can set a precedent moving forward and start to kind of begin a new standard. Now, we're not going to talk too much about this for the rest of the show. I know you guys are maybe sick of hearing about it because I was ranting and raving for an hour last week. But yeah, that's great. In music news, more music news, the artist, this shit had me actually fucking dying. The artist Callie, who's a rapper, she's got that song called Area Codes out right now. He be feeding me pasta and lobster. I got a white boy on my roster. You've heard it on TikTok if you've been on TikTok for more than 7 seconds. She did an interview where she was talking about how she came up with the song. And she said that she didn't realize that Area Codes was shared the title and the concept of the old classic Ludacris Nate Dogg record, Area Codes. I got hoes in different area codes. She says she didn't know that that was a Ludacris song. Do you know why she didn't know that it was a Ludacris flip? Because she didn't write it, probably. She probably didn't write that hook. And that's fine. But don't be in the interview talking about, well, when I came up with this song and I wrote this song. Artists, credit your fucking songwriters. It's okay that you collaborate with writers. You don't want to be in the interview looking crazy because you didn't know that your own song was a flip. Where did you come up with it from? It's a flip. The writers on the record, there's 4 writers credited for that song as well, probably came up with it. And that's fine. But also, artists, and this is for any artist, study your craft. Study your craft. Look, I don't want to pile on. I don't know Callie. I'm sure she's, a great person and maybe is a great artist and a great writer and I don't fucking know. But the bottom line is, if you got a song, don't you want to know how you came up? Don't you want to know about the song and the origins of the song? Again, we talked about flips and samples on a previous episode, and this industry is running rampant with them. This is another example. And what's crazy to me is that a lot of artists don't even know that these songs are samples. The listeners don't know. Gen Z doesn't know. A lot of people weren't. I mean, Callie was like 1 or 2 years old when the Ludacris song dropped. But, learn the history, right? Yeah, tough scene. What else happened? In the world of what the fuck are you doing? Let's talk about HBO Max. Or should I say Max? HBO, who was the most established name in entertainment, home box office. You could have all the money in the world, and you couldn't build a brand as prestigious as HBO if you tried. They have continuously pumped out the most culturally relevant content at a 10% clip of what Netflix and other streaming platforms are spending. All that people talk about, Game of Thrones, Succession, these shows are leagues above any other content. You've built the brand. You've set the bar. And what do? You rebrand it as Max. You take the most prestigious brand and you turn it into Kroger. You create another dumpster fire of mediocre bullshit content with an ugly ass UI and a generic name and a generic brand strategy. What the fuck are these companies doing, dude? It just makes me feel like whenever this kind of shit happens, I just imagine the meetings with these people that are making like $900,000 a year that come into work like 80 days a year. And just the pitch of like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to flush everything down the fucking toilet because we need a fresh face and a brand new brand. Max, the kids are going to love it. It's like, guys, it's Mickey Mouse. It's fucking Mickey Mouse. I could be the CEO of Max now and say, hey guys, let's roll it back. Hey, remember all the money and shit we just spent to change it? Let's just go ahead and roll it back. Everybody will forgive us. And then you had to like download a new app. And like I went to log on to HBO Max, and it's like, hey, you actually have to download our new app, Max. HBO is Max now. And I had to go into Max. Then I had to like find my fucking login again somewhere. You know how many people were probably just like, don't care, over it. Let's go back to Netflix. I mean, I don't want to watch Young Sheldon or NCIS on HBO. That's what garbage NPC cable is for. That's what I want to watch when I'm back home and I'm just sitting around, and I'm like, I'll throw on Law and Order SVU. When I go into Mac, you know what I mean? Fucking Mickey Mouse. All right, let's get into our main topic. God. I'm not gonna lie, I look really fucking handsome today. I'm looking at myself on the playback TV here, and you're doing yourself a real disservice if you're not watching me right now. Okay. And so humble. So today we're going to talk about gaming. If you don't know, your boy is a prolific gamer. Okay? And I'm also a big proponent of Web3 and NFTs and crypto. Now, before you turn the podcast off and you go, oh, here we go, fucking crypto guy's gonna talk about crypto to me, just fucking hear me out. Take a long, tall glass of water and let me put you on game and let me give you the big picture of where we're headed as a society, really, and how it pertains to gaming specifically, which is the biggest industry in the world. Gaming did $180 billion in revenue last year, which is more money than both the music industry and the film industry combined. Gaming has been up only for over a decade. And we're just getting started, okay? So, what happened that is prompting this podcast episode? Nike announced that they're going to begin rolling out NFTs, digital collectibles, in Madden and FIFA. So this is incredible for many reasons. Before we dive into the Nike move and the EA Sports move, I want to talk about the big picture, about digital ownership, and kind of give you the very quick elevator pitch as to why NFTs and digital ownership will be the most pivotal component of your life moving forward. As we enter the full swing of the digital age, digital ownership is pivotal. And I think a lot of people, when they think NFTs, you think Bored Ape Yacht Club, you think monkey JPEGs or CryptoPunks and stuff like that. And we'll get into that probably in another episode. But what people don't realize is that NFTs really represent digital ownership over everything: photos, music, documents, digital art, your identity, and things of that nature. NFTs are not a scam, despite what clickbait news programs and articles are going to tell you. If you think NFTs are a scam, wait till you hear about college, where you pay $50,000 for a piece of paper and debt for the rest of your life to work at a job that you didn't even go to school for. NFTs are not a scam. They are a pivotal piece of technology that is advancing the human species forward. As we enter the digital age, we're in the digital age, but it's not about access, it's about control and ownership. As a society, we've been ushered into this lifestyle of leasing everything and renting everything and subscribing to everything. You don't own anything anymore. And as we enter a time where our entire lives are going to be digital, everything that we do is going to be digital. Soon, we won't even have money. You understand? We won't even have paper money soon. Digital ownership is all we have. And if we do not have ownership in the digital age, we literally have nothing. I'm not being dramatic. You see all the dystopian fucking future movies where humans are living in that's a world where you just are completely dependent on the government not owning anything and just having, you understand what I'm saying, right? With digital ownership, you have control over your digital assets without fear of them being taken away, altered, lost. It's completely immutable. We rely right now on centralized systems, servers. Again, I don't want this to sound like a conspiracy or like I'm pumping my bags. This is just what it is. All of your money is in a bank that's centralized. We've seen what's happening in that world with all the bank runs that have been happening, where the banks don't actually have your money. The banks have like fractionalized reserves of your money. If everybody goes to try to get their money out of the bank right now, they don't have it. The whole thing falls apart. Oh, you've heard crypto is a Ponzi scheme? Wait till you hear about the banks. Wait till you hear about capitalism, right? The whole thing is fairy dust. None of it's real, okay? Money's not real. Things are given value depending on what people value them at. And you don't actually own your money. You don't have it, okay? I know that sounds crazy. With crypto, with NFTs, you own it. Nobody controls it but you. They can't take it. They literally can't. They don't have access to it. Nobody has access to it. And so again, as we enter the full swing of the digital age, digital ownership is pivotal. Everything lives on the blockchain. You've heard the word blockchain before. What is blockchain? It's a decentralized, distributed ledger that lives amongst a network of thousands and thousands and thousands of computers that are verified constantly, that, again, is not controlled by any one thing. It's transparent, secure, unalterable. I'm not going to give you a full breakdown of this. You can go look it up yourself. Not the point of the podcast. This isn't like a full-blown educational podcast. You can YouTube what is blockchain 101, crypto, and they'll give you a very incredible in-depth guide. But that's not what we're focusing on today. We're talking about gaming and how it pertains to NFTs. And I'm confident at the end of this podcast, if you aren't a proponent of NFTs and you'll start to kind of get it, hopefully, after this. So, okay. Back to gaming. So gaming, the reason that gaming is one of the biggest industries in the world, outside of people actually buying the games, is microtransactions. So microtransactions are purchases within a game, usually a free game. If you think like Farmville, that might be what your parents, how they think microtransactions. But how most people think microtransactions are Fortnite skins, Call of Duty weapon skins, battle passes, outfits in-game, dances, fucking anything you can think of. Purchasing in-game currency, right? For $50, you can buy 100,000 Apex coins or NBA 2K coins that you can use to spend on your player and your character and customize them and do whatever. $67 billion. Gamers spent $67 billion on microtransactions in free-to-play games last year. That's more money than was spent on music last year. That's more money than was spent on film and TV last year. Okay? Now, imagine these microtransactions, people spending thousands of their hard-earned dollars, and they don't actually own them. You can't actually do anything with them other than have them in the game, right? So I am a great example. I've spent a disgusting amount of money on Fortnite skins back when Fortnite was popping, on Call of Duty, battle passes, weapon tracers, characters, in Apex Legends, battle passes, weapon skins, different emotes, fucking whatever. But if Fortnite folded tomorrow, if Epic Games shut down the servers, they're gone. If my account gets hacked, they're gone. If my account gets banned, they're gone. If I fucking forget my password to my Epic Games account, they're gone, right? Counter-Strike, CSGO, is probably has the craziest secondary market of any game in the world. Just today, there was a $50,000 sale on like a gun today. Somebody sold a gun in Counter-Strike, which is a game that's been out for a decade, $50,000. Last month, there was a sale for $400,000. Let me say that again. $400,000 for an AK-47 weapon skin color way. Okay? People are spending money on this shit. Why? Collectibles, personalization. It's a flex. There's a knife, just to really pile this on so you really fucking get it. There's a knife in Counter-Strike called the case-hardened Karambit, pattern 387, valued at over $2 million. The guy got a $1.5 million offer and turned it down a few months ago. Currently valued around $2 million. I know it sounds crazy, but not only is there a market for it, it's the biggest market in entertainment. And it's not going away. As we become more and more immersed in video games and the digital age, guys, it's only going to 10x from here. But if Valve, the developer of Counter-Strike, shut down its servers, these items become worthless because they're gone. They only exist within the context of the game. You don't actually own them. Now, NFTs solve this because you have actual ownership over your digital assets. So what did Nike do? Nike Virtual Studios and EA Sports, it's in the game. Let me try that again. Hold on, I can do that better. EA Sports. No. Let me do it again. EA Sports. It's in the game. That was okay. Frankly embarrassing. I'm going to do better next week, guys. I used to really have a good EA Sports. It's in the game. That was better. Okay, so Nike has a platform called .swoosh, which is their Web3 presence. They've partnered with EA Sports to create immersive experiences and Nike digital collectibles in-game, which means they'll be rolling out and launching virtual sneakers that you can have in Madden and FIFA. So think super rare sneaker drop, cleat drop, basketball shoe drop, football shoe drop, jersey, whatever. Comes out, limited run. You own it. So you can customize your player with it and wear it, or you can sell it for more money. Or you can sell it for the same amount of money when you're bored with it. You can do anything with it. You can gift it to your friend. It is crazy. The sneakerhead market is booming, and this integration offers unique opportunities for creativity and personalization within the games, bridging these worlds together. The possibilities of this are crazy. I mean, are you wrapping your head around the numbers? Are you understanding? Have you guys seen Ready Player One? If you haven't, you should. Ready Player One, I think, paints a pretty accurate depiction of how the future is going to look for video games, which is just like fully immersive. You're fucking playing all over the world, interoperability, different people, different games, yada, yada, yada. And you buy and sell and own your items within that game. That's what the future's going to look like. This isn't me convincing you, for the record. This isn't me convincing you about NFTs and gaming. This is me telling you what it's going to look like. This is me painting the picture of where we're headed. I don't give a fuck if you turn this podcast off and go, that motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't care. This is just what's going to happen. You're going to come back here and you're going to, in like a year or two, and be like, man, this this motherfucker knew it. Ginostradamus. He knew it was coming. How did he know it was coming? Because you just follow what all the thought leaders and the biggest brands are doing. How the fuck did Nike become Nike? They weren't following. They're proactive, not reactive. All these other companies are going to fucking follow. But Nike will have done it first. And they just had a sneaker. They did let me look. I want to make sure. Yeah. So they recently launched their first NFT sneaker collection, and it already generated $1 million in sales. This just happened. One more thing with gaming I want to talk about, which is play to earn. Now, there's been a negative stigma in the gaming community when it comes to crypto and NFTs, and rightfully, because basically what happened a couple years ago when the shitcoin bull market craze was going on and everybody was launching scams and bullshit, because that happens in any sector of finance. But when you have a speculative asset class like crypto, especially one that's generally unregulated for now, you're going to have scammers and grifters pop up. So what was happening is you have these Twitch streamers who are some of the biggest content creators in the world with crazy audiences. And you have people were approaching them like, hey, promote this new token and we'll give you $10,000 and we'll give you 50,000 of the tokens. All you got to do is get on stream and promote it and say it's going to the moon. So they were, because they're kids. And they're like, yeah, fucking sure, I like money, right? So they would promote the token, and then all their fucking fans would buy it, or people would buy it, price go up, and then everybody sells. Rug pull. People lose their ass and lose money. So what started to happen is a lot of these streamers were being called scammers, not knowing that they just didn't know what they just were fucking with the wrong people and they didn't know better, right? So there's been a negative stigma around crypto and gaming, and I know this because I'm very close with all of the biggest gaming companies. I'm very close with FaZe Clan specifically. I've got some great, I know some great people that work over there. Zach Katz, my boy Kai Henry was there for a very long time, and we've talked a lot about this. How do you get gamers to realize that this shit isn't scammy and isn't bullshit? Those are just scammer people, right? That have been working in the crevices, the dark crevices of finance forever. So what I said is going to have to happen. I said there's going to have to be an event that's going to have to become a catalyst to show these gamers the use case and the bull case for it. So in January, Yuga Labs, who is the creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club, which I'm a holder of, launched a mini game. They have a big open world game coming out called The Other Side. They're building it. It looks insane. And leading up to it, they launched a mini game called Dookie Dash. Yes, the name is perverse, but called Dookie Dash. And the only way you could play this game is if you owned what was called a sewer pass, right? You could only play if you were a holder, if you own a Bored Ape or you own a mutant, you got airdropped and given for free the ability to play this game. Now, the way it works is the better you placed in the game, the better your pass was. The better your digital asset was, and therefore, the more it was worth. So the better you performed, the more you played, you could sell it for more money. So what do you think's going to happen? Well, people that are great at video games did better. And a lot of people who own these things weren't good at video games, but they wanted a more valuable in-game asset. And because that in-game asset is a cool, customizable thing for your character, they wanted something dope. So what did they start doing? They started paying gamers to play for them. Uh-oh. play to earn gaming. Here we go. Get paid a bunch of money for being good at video games. Even if you didn't, just by owning one of these and playing the game, you could sell that for thousands of dollars immediately after. There were people who, because you were a holder, played Dookie Dash for like a couple hours, they sucked, whatever, they still sold their pass for probably $4,000. Made money just for playing and participating and being a part of the community, being a part of the gaming community. And guess what else? Bored Ape Yacht Club and Yuga also made a shitload of money. Everybody made a shitload of money. We saw $57 million in volume since it came out. That's fucking nuts. Okay? Now, there's a guy named Mongrel who's a professional gamer. He was the number one, one of the number one. I don't know if it, one of the number one. He was a top 5 Fortnite streamer back in the day. Professional gamer, was with FaZe, made a bunch of money in tournaments and on Twitch and da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? He played. He got first overall, and he won a one-of-one digital NFT for winning. It was a golden key. He sold it for $1.6 million, 1,000 Ethereum, which is now worth $1.9 million. That's like 3 times the amount of money he's ever made in his gaming career. He made it in a few days. If you think I'm trying to convince you about NFTs and gaming, and I'm not just telling you what's gonna happen, you're wrong. Once gaming shakes the negative stigma of NFTs and crypto, and really just everybody shakes the negative stigma of scamming motherfuckers like Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX and all this other bullshit that is really just financial scams that has nothing to do with crypto. The FTX scandal has nothing to do with crypto and is just bank fraud. Okay? Once all those stigmas get shaken, good luck. All right. How are we doing on time? We're doing great. We're doing fantastic. Okay. Time for the favorite segment of the week. That's going to be the FOHHOF, everybody. The fuck out of here, Hall of Fame. I got some bad news, folks. Chick-fil-A is no longer the Lord's chicken. This past week, Chick-fil-A hired a VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and people are losing their fucking minds over it. If you thought Bud Light was bad, wait till you hear about what Chick-fil-A did. They hired an executive to look over equality? Oh no, let me play a clip. This is fucking unbelievable. This is a TikTok that's gone viral.
So I'm grieving. It's lunchtime. I'm here with Aubrey, and we really wanted some Chick-fil-A, but because they decided to hire a diversity, equity, and inclusion corporate position and also bow down to the woke lords because of their ESG scores, and also I found out, do you know this? Their chicken is funded by BlackRock and Vanguard.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Their farms. They use Tyson and this other farm. BlackRock and Vanguard funded chicken. Chick-fil-A, you are no longer the Lord's chicken. You're actually the woke chicken. And I'm really upset about it as a Christian woman. All we wanted was some good fried chicken.
Oh my God, Morgan. Are these real people? This is mental illness. This is woke chicken. I mean, guys, just because a brand acknowledges that gay people exist doesn't mean they're woke. What is woke? There are other people that spend money other than Christian white people. Other than straight, cis Christian white people. And I say this as a straight white Christian man. Okay? Guys, it's not that deep. Gay people spend money too. It's called marketing. You can't get mad at a brand for marketing their product to as many people as they can. It's not woke to hire an executive of a position that every company needs to have so you don't get sued for racism and so you have inclusion within your company. Guys, it's not woke. This is just the way that it is. Party politics are a cult. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to cancel every brand until there's nothing left. This is what cults do. They isolate you. You can't drink Bud Light. You can't have fucking Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was like the flagship white Christian Republican brand. You know what I mean? Chick-fil-A hated gay people. The owners hated gay people, famously. Gay people still like the chicken because the chicken's good. It's good chicken. Chick-fil-A is fire. And fucking conservatives, and again, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't believe in party politics because I am a free-thinking individual, which means there are fucking morons on both sides. Democrats are so woke that they haven't got a night's sleep. They're insomniacs. And Republicans are so hell-bent on not being woke that they're Rip Van Winkle. These motherfuckers haven't woke up in years. Guys, what happened to getting a balanced night's sleep? What happened to getting 7 hours of sleep a night? What happened to balance and using our fucking heads? You're not going to eat Chick-fil-A anymore because they hired a person at the... Why do you fucking care? Are you kidding me? You're not going to go get a spicy chicken deluxe with a large fry and a cookies and cream milkshake because they hired somebody at their company to prevent them from getting sued? You're not going to drink Bud Light because they did a advertisement on TikTok with the trans... Guys, I'm begging you. Just take a step back. Okay? Just take a step back. Take a breath. Take a step back. Because I have a lot of Republicans that listen to this podcast and follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and that. Guys, it's okay. You can still go to Chick-fil-A. You don't have to boycott the Lord's chicken. Okay? And don't even get me started on the Vanguard and BlackRock thing. I mean, she just sprinkled that little nugget in there, you know? In Vanguard and BlackRock. You know, look. If you don't know about Vanguard and BlackRock, they're VC firms that own 80% of the world, basically. And there's just it's a conspiracy. Everything's a fucking conspiracy now. I can't keep up, man. Everything's a conspiracy. Guys, the world is fucked. Just do the things you enjoy. You know, just fucking eat Chick-fil-A. It's too late. If it's a part of a fucking conspiracy with the lizard people in Epstein's Island and fucking the Hollywood cabal, just eat the chicken. It's delicious. You know what I mean? I mean, what are you going to fucking do? You're going to boycott? Weren't Republicans the one mad about cancel culture? Now you motherfuckers are canceling everything. Can we have anything? I mean, for fuck's sake. I need the NRA to come out with like a trans. I need a trans advocate on TikTok to come out pro NRA and pro gun, and I just want to see what happens. That'll be fucking anarchy. I can't wait. It's gonna happen. They're gonna come for the NRA next. It's gonna happen. I think Ja Morant should come out and just like be pro NRA and just see what happens, right? You know? What a fucking conundrum that would be for everybody. All right. Again, look, I don't like to get political on this podcast, but when I do, just know it comes from the middle. I call it how I see it. So this week's FOH, HOF inductee is just anybody that's boycotting Chick-fil-A. You know? Fucking unbelievable. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Good Luck this week. It's been a great episode. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave me 5 stars, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share. It helps. If you're on Spotify podcasts, do whatever the fuck you do on Spotify. Download it, heart it, whatever. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week. And good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck. You smile and say goodbye to me, but I don't give a fuck. You hop in the Uber, off to your future. Good night and good luck. You try to play your cards with me, but I'm calling your bluff. Cause it wasn't enough. Night and good luck.